Oh, baby, how
Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why don't you and I combine?
And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. All my life, you're a friend of mine.
It's Ceci and Adam.
Welcome to the Mom Lineal Podcast. And let me start out by saying I was reading a list of things that are out for 2024.
Interesting.
And this is bad news for us.
Oh, great. Is vacations out?
No, the term going viral.
Is it because there's too many
Bummer.
sick people? Everyone's like, I don't want anything viral anymore. I'm
Which is
done.
sad news.
That
Because
is.
y'all have an opinion about water.
Oh, my word. If you are not on this water train yet,
Whoa.
go to our Momlennial Instagram or TikTok page, give a little follow,
Yep.
and then leave your opinion about water in the 70s, because everybody has one.
Okay, so Ellie, we should introduce ourselves because a couple of new people are tuning in.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Yes.
And we welcome all manner of comments. Sometimes the most negative ones are my favorites. Ellie, our Gen Z, she's our social media. And
She's amazing.
Hello.
she posted this clip on TikTok that has almost 1 million views. Where were we at this
Oh,
morning?
my goodness.
Close to 1 mil?
We are at 894,000.
Wow.
What?
I know. Okay. And then like 6,000 comments, everybody checking in about water.
What?
When we were filming
Yeah, we've got
this-
6,300 comments, 800 or 87.2 thousand likes, and 3,400 saves.
You're all amazing and apparently thirsty.
real thirsty.
Wow.
Unless you're Gen X. My favorite
Then no.
is the Gen Zs that were checking in were like, no wonder they all have kidney stones and look like they're in their 80s.
One of my favorites too is like, no wonder us millennials look so young. We're drinking constantly. We're using lotion constantly. It's awesome.
Somebody was mad at me or felt like I was very defensive about water because we filmed this podcast in my basement studio. So quick
Yes.
introduction. I'm a radio broadcaster. Adam and I used to do a radio show together a
Yep.
few years ago until he went all millennial and like quit because he couldn't handle having to come to work.
Too early. I was too thirsty and too tired.
No, you actually pursued a wonderful career in youth ministry, and we're very
Yeah.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Then we brought Gen Z here on the team to help us with social media, and then you just became part of our show, which we love. Great
Yeah.
perspective.
Oh, it's been awesome.
But we film, as of now, this podcast in my basement studio where I also film the radio or record the radio shows. And
Right.
it's cold. We're in Michigan, which is why we're always talking about Michigan sports. And so when we were talking about water, I was cold and I was crossing my arms and someone's like, that 70s lady is super defensive about her water. And I responded back, I'm like, no, I was just cold. And they go, yeah, sure.
Forever, that is your nickname. You are the 70s lady.
And then someone's like, she doesn't look like she grew up in the 70s, which a compliment.
Thank you.
I was born in
Right.
74.
Right.
So no, do I technically remember the water thing when I was in my early, no, so 70s, 80s, it was all the same.
There was some kind of powder in it. Tang. That was the thing. It was like Tang, Kool-Aid, Tang. It was all sugar. Sugar.
It was pop. Everyone's saying pop, Tang, coffee, wine, and that's pretty much what everyone ran on in the
Water.
80s.
You guys,
Right.
I used to fill up my car with gas on returnables from Pepsi. Gas was cheaper, but that's a lot of Pepsi.
I'm not gonna lie for a minute. I thought you were gonna be like, in the 80s, I filled my car up with Tang, and I'm like, this is.
I thought she was going there too.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that's the route she was
Like,
going to take.
This is out of control.
What a blast. If you have an opinion on water, feel free to check in with your thoughts. The other thing people were
Because
saying.
someone probably already has them in the comment section. There's a lot of there were kidney stone debate. Like people
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking amongst themselves about kidney stones.
For the record, I don't care. I'm 49. I've never had a kidney stone.
Praise the Lord.
As of
Great,
yet.
because any generation that's not viral, that's
No,
not trending, if
but
you will.
I do now have 2 Stanleys. I have a. What's the size of the big one you got me for Christmas?
You have a 40 ounce and a 32 ounce.
So I have a 40-ounce Stanley that's just for water, and then now I add electrolytes in my water.
Oh, bougie water.
Well, it's like I've learned, right? I've grown since my childhood drinking Pepsi and Tang, and every day I add an LMNT electrolyte mix into my water.
Gosh, concoction.
I know, and then I have a what size Stanley do I have? The smaller one?
40? The 32 ounces is a
Okay,
smaller one.
That's tall.
Then my 32-ounce Stanley is my powders water, where I put. This is what it's like in Gen X.
Oh my word.
I have a fiber powder,
Oh no.
and then I've been taking colostrum
I don't
powder.
even know what that is.
Comes from a baby cow. Allegedly, it helps your hair grow. Not working great. And then I have, and then I do a half of a packet of electrolytes in that. So that's my health powders. And then I put one of those shaker balls in it. And the accountant, my husband, he hates it because I walk around shaking it up with ice. And he's like, stop it with the
It is a
powder."
tad excessive. It's a tad excessive.
And it's super gross because the fiber gets caught on the inside
the
of the
clumps
straw.
and the chunks.
It gets all like gelatinous.
Which is funny because you have misophonia, which is like anger towards sound.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you doing it in your Stanley would drive you crazy, but it's driving
It
everyone
drives
else without misophonia.
everybody else crazy. Misophonia doesn't affect the person who has it. It just affects all of your loved ones.
It's not her chewing that's the problem. It's everyone else
Everyone
chewing that's
else.
the
I know.
problem.
I know.
One of my favorite comments
Yeah.
with the water thing on the Mom Millennial Instagram page was from Matt Basta. He said they don't consider it because they didn't have Stanley mugs to put it in then. It's true.
I know.
right?
We didn't.
It's
We
true.
didn't.
Everyone's talking about putting milk in thermoses
Oh yeah.
for their lunch.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Milk
we
was milk was a big
Yes.
part of the comment section. Everyone was like, we drink gallons and gallons of milk. And I feel
Gallons.
like no one
Yeah.
drinks milk anymore.
It was big milk. It was big dairy.
It was the hardcore dairy back in the
It was
day.
big dairy. Now, this is the thing. These little snippets, these little extracts, they get everybody all hot and bothered. You really have to listen to the conversation as a whole.
That's right.
So I recommend listening to the pod all the way through. You can find it on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcasts. We got yelled at by our buddy Troy West this week.
Uh-oh.
So-
Big water drinker.
Troy used to be my boss in radio. He's now moved on to bigger and greener pastures. Not in small town radio anymore. And he was like, Mike, how long did he say his commute was?
I think like 37 or 38 minutes.
So he was telling us, your pod needs to be the length of my commute. He's like, last week it was only 20 minutes. And I was mad. Well, we had all kinds of technical issues last week.
Oh my word.
Adam's-
I wish we would have had that 70s wine in the studio because everything that could, those days where everything that could go wrong
Went wrong.
There were things that I learned about I didn't even know existed in the technology
You had
world.
to upgrade and put in passwords,
word.
and the little
I had to,
technical stuff we used was like, nah, you
Yeah.
have to upgrade.
Register with the FBI with our technical equipment. I'm
So
like,
then
what?
I'm trying to give you my equipment that's like the same that you have, and then it wanted you to register my equipment on your computer, and then we were like,
Oh
yeah,
my
so we
gosh.
were back to square one.
We were like, have you seen that cat meme where it's the two, they're like, huh? 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 That was completely us for like 20 minutes last week.
Do you know
It was
what
a
meme
mess.
I'm loving lately?
Tell us.
Maybe Ellie, you could post this on social. So we were at a Christmas party, and my boss, who's awesome, he has a really steep driveway, and he was talking about how he was snow blowing it, and then he slipped and he fell, and his one shoulder went this way, and another shoulder went that way, and his arm was up. So I play him the meme of Michael Jackson going, "My shoulder hurts.
jeez.
I'm in pain constantly, and my other shoulder, I can only move from here to there." I play it for the whole staff. I'm like, this is our boss right now. My shoulder.
My word. If we start doing a little thriller, a little something to get into it.
You can only make fun of your boss to that level when you've been there for 25 years.
That's not
True.
a 90-day trial joke. That's right.
It's
No,
not.
a little bit
Oh,
of
look
time
at
there.
you, Adam. Your laptop at the moment is wanting you to upgrade.
look,
Did
another-
you just upgrade last week?
Must be another new hour, I guess. I can't keep up.
Another thing people were really checking in with was sports superstitions. That little TikTok.
Yes.
Ooh, that was funny.
This is stressful.
That
Like,
one's
the way
at
people do life.
144,000 views.
Oh my gosh. But it might not go up because any higher numbers could be bad for the team.
Yeah,
You
superstition.
never know.
Right?
Everything could be something.
What were people saying on that one? Or you don't have it pulled up?
No, I have it pulled up. There was one where someone was saying that someone said they weren't allowed to watch the Lions playoff game because she went to her boyfriend's parents' house once and it was a game that they lost. And so I
was not
replied
invited back.
as a fellow Lions fan, and I just said from the podcast account, from fellow Lions fans, we appreciate your sacrifice.
Yeah, stay home this weekend too.
That's right.
Yeah, stay.
And
wait,
she replied with anything I can do for the team. So she's a Lions fan, totally gets it.
How
So
crazy
we
was-
appreciate that.
yeah. How crazy was that game winning by 1 point?
I missed it. Oh, I know. 70 years in the making, and I missed the biggest game I feel like all season.
Okay. Why were Lions fans so rude toward Matthew Stafford?
Oh, right, come on. He's still a D-town boy. Come on.
Be nicer to him.
no.
I think everyone at the end of the day will forever and always love Matthew Stafford. But like they are the opposing team.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he did go to California.
that's true. And I'm a youth minister. and
He
do
won a
this for
Super Bowl.
time. Oh,
We
that's
like
kinda
cheered
nice.
for him when he won a Super Bowl. Now it's
Yeah.
time for the Lions to win a Super
Well,
Bowl.
his wife, Kelly, checked in and she did say, go get him. Go get one of your own. Go get one of your own.
Okay.
And
She
in
did.
a nice way. I
Yeah,
thought
totally.
that's classy.
Right, absolutely.
So classy.
Because you know Stafford's still kind of behind the scenes. He's kind of rooting for the Lions right now.
Well, yeah.
You know?
I mean, please, we'll take all the rooting we can get.
70 years, people. We've waited a long time.
man.
Everybody, please root for the
There
Lions.
were grown men weeping in the stands.
Crying. Literal tears.
Crying
Literal tears.
literal tears.
And this is joyful tears this time.
I know.
Amazing.
It feels good to be a Michigander.
It does.
For once.
I know. Who cares if it's minus 15,000 outside?
Oh, what did you have to go through to
I
get here
do.
this morning?
Awful.
I had to feed chickens to start my day.
What in the farm boy? What in the prairie life is happening with you?
was homeschooled for 6 years. I figured let's seal the deal. I was dog sitting for a family. Look, anybody at any school can have chickens. Please don't get mad.
Can you just give, since we do have some new listeners in, you're a millennial, you're middle aged,
Yeah.
and your
But
side
I'm young because I drink water.
and your side hustle is dog sitting and chicken
Yes.
feeding.
That resume keeps growing every week. I just need to learn the word no. So yes, I'm a full-time youth minister at a local church here in Michigan. And then on top of that, a couple years ago, I started this little dog house pet sitting business on the side because I had watched pets for coworkers over the years, for you too.
Yeah.
Which has been great. You got a hot tub, so I'm available anytime. And so somebody reached out through a reference of another family, which was awesome. And they said, hey, would you be willing to watch our house and dog and cat? And we have chickens.
Okay.
And I said, okay.
You're like, I like chickens.
I have them for dinner all the time. So it'll be great. So I figured, whatever, that's great. I'll try it out. It has been the coldest week in 5 years. I'm not kidding. The second I got there, the heavens opened up and everything possible came for 5 days, and the temperature dropped dramatically. Their food froze to their troughs. What the heck is that?
Listen, Pa Ingals, listen to this. Listen to this. You need a little lesson for everybody. Everybody needs to start reading Little House on the Prairie series, because in Farmer Boy and then on the banks of Plum Creek, that's the book I was reading this week. Guess what Pa did? Guess what Pa did?
Oh,
You are no Pa Ingals, I'll tell you that.
Not at all.
All right. He had to go into town, which was 3 miles away, for white sugar, which was a thing that you only used if company was coming. Okay.
Oh, so
Normally it was brown sugar made from molasses.
So this was like the fine china in our
Yes.
day. Gotcha.
And molasses, by the way, came from the trees that they tapped outside, probably in the dead middle of winter. So Pa has to walk into town 3 miles. And they lived in Minnesota, and these sudden blizzards
Oh,
would come up. Okay.
the
So he's
worst.
almost home, and a blizzard pops up, and he can't see even his hand in front of him. He was saying, but luckily somebody had sold him a buffalo coat for $10.
Buffalo
And then they told him he didn't have to pay for the buffalo coat until his grain field yielded a good crop.
This is fiction if it's $10.
And this was a praise the Lord situation, because blizzard came up on his trek home, right? And he falls into a deep cave which protected him from the blizzard. And he
my
kept
I wish you
like
could-
trying to shovel his way out, and he couldn't get out, but the air was good, and he's in his buffalo coat, and he remembered he had oyster crackers in his buffalo coat pocket, and he sustained himself for 4 days. The blizzard raged on for 4 days.
Oh, 4 hours
And
was 5.
He's eating little oyster crackers. Then he remembers.
Oyster crackers.
The Christmas candy. The Christmas
Oh,
candy.
gosh.
He had also from town purchased candy for his children for their stockings. And he says to his children, I'm very sorry, but there'll be no Christmas candy this year.
my
But Pa had to eat it to survive. And the whole family was just glad to have their Pa home, that they didn't even cry, that nothing was in their stocking for Christmas. We need to get it together. 2024, millennials, Gen Z, we couldn't live. We would die.
I think I'd rather if I was in that situation.
Same.
I'm like, you know what?
I
Beam
think
me
I-
up, Scotty.
I think
I've had
I
it.
would rather.
I don't need dessert. I don't need any sugar. I'm done.
Adam would be in there with his pocket video game in the buffalo coat.
Be like, Speed Bowser. We might not be able to eat tomorrow, but
So I think you could hack through the ice and feed the
oh
chickens.
my gosh. Okay, on that, minus the well and almost dying and the blizzard and Pa. I have a greater appreciation for farmers. I really actually do. I was
Because
like
of your 5 days.
because of my 5
And
minutes
15
of chicken
degrees.
coop. No, I really do. I do. I'm like, this is just 20 minutes. These people are out there every day, all
know.
day, all weather conditions.
God bless you, farmers.
God bless them
Any
all.
farmers out there on TikTok want to chime in?
Any name Pa, please comment and let us give you white sugar
Anyone have a buffalo?
for $10. The best part too is you didn't see it. And you couldn't see it listening either. But Allie's face was just like, "What the crap is this story?" You were like looking back and forth, like, "What the crap is this contrived fictional drama?"
You wouldn't believe the stories in this book, people. You wouldn't believe it.
You know this author is in Florida in her little condo flat on the
author-
beach,
this author is-
writing
You
it
sound
up.
like the crazy English teacher that like forced the entire class to read this book because she loved it so much, and all the high school kids do not care. They do not care.
This is like
Lame.
that's like so sad. You just gotta check out. You're like, that's too much.
I did curl up in my comfy bed and my down comforter last night while the wind was a whistling outside. And I thought, praise
gosh.
Jesus for a comfortable mattress, because they used to have to make theirs out of straw.
And white sugar.
Survivor anymore. Like it's fine.
Word.
Okay.
I wish I
Fine.
could like time travel somewhere for the 1800s and be like, was that a little much? Is that really how it was?
This
or
is how I'm trying to grow in tenacity, okay? Yesterday, I was tired. I had a busy day. I didn't feel like making the coffee. I just didn't
Right.
feel like filling up the pot with water. And I thought to myself, what would Ma do? You know what Ma did? Ma tied a rope around her waist and another rope to the barn. And when Pa was in town trying to get white sugar, she schlepped herself through the Minnesota blizzard to feed the horses. And I can get up and make the coffee.
I think you get up in
In
the
your
heat.
automated coffee pot that'll have it ready for you warm by 6 a.m.
Dude, Indians used to straight up
Oh my God.
steal Pa's tobacco. They'd come right in the house and they couldn't talk. They would just point at stuff they wanted. And Mom was like, here you go.
Aw.
Here you
Let
go.
alone someone takes mom's mimosa on brunch, like during brunch on Saturday
Yeah, right.
morning.
We're soft.
Yeah.
We're soft.
You know what? We have it very good. You're right. We don't have a right to complain because we have electricity.
Yeah, Farmer Adam. We have electricity.
As I'm out there trying to find every abbreviation to a not swear word I can, trudging through the cold.
I didn't sign up for this.
I mean-
Did they give you a chicken bonus?
Actually, I got to have fresh eggs for breakfast every morning. That was good.
Oh my word!
That was so
You, like,
good.
Did you what? Gather
There's-
the eggs?
Oh,
in
yeah.
in your sweater or your apron or what?
No, I
Tell
tied
me
my
how-
rope to the garage and drudged myself back, but gently so the eggs wouldn't crack in my pocket.
Literally, please tell me. Please tell me. You fried up fresh eggs. Please tell me.
Oh, you bet I did. You bet I did. And they had fresh butter out of the thing that
churned
said
it?
butter. Freshly
Did you make it yourself? Yeah.
But he had to do it in 10 minutes or it froze because it was so cold in the minus 20
Just
degree
use
wind
the
chill.
KitchenAid. You can just use the KitchenAid to make butter now.
You know, I've never used a KitchenAid mixer.
I'm not making any butter. I'm not.
What?
I haven't. No.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
Emma.
Can we run that back?
Yeah.
What?
No, I've never used a KitchenAid mixer. I really haven't.
Do you not know how? I have one here.
I've never used yours. Even all the years I've dog sat here, I've never used your KitchenAid
well,
mixer.
why would you? I mean, you're a millennial who's not married.
Oven meals don't need a.
Ellie has a pink one. I have a yellow one.
I do have a pink one.
Aw.
I used my pink one last night. I made peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough.
Ooh.
that
We need to get you
sounds
back to Michigan pronto.
And you didn't even have to walk 3 miles into town to get the white sugar to make it.
Where'd you
Aren't
get
you
the sugar?
blessed?
I am. I got the white sugar from my IKEA cabinet that I built myself. And
Way to go.
My brown sugar from the same spot. So
My
I'm
gosh.
ready to go.
We do have it so good.
We have it
We have
so
it so
good.
good. We probably have it too good. That's why we complain.
This is the next book I'm going to read.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I hope it's something more upbeat.
It's not.
Are you gonna start reading like the How to Survive a Plane Crash like,
Yeah,
books
right.
or whatever?
Is the plane going to a well?
No, I'm going to read a book called The Comfort Crisis. Why you were so comfortable and so depressed and miserable.
You know what? This is good. You're right. You're right. You're right. Last night, I literally waited to eat one piece of food to wait for my soup to be ready, and I was frustrated the soup wasn't warming up fast enough.
I
You're
mean,
right. We have it too good.
We should all read it. The whole podcast should read it and then do a book club study.
Oh, no.
Nah. That's all
That's
you
right.
guys.
Yeah.
Fine. You can listen to it. You can listen to the audiobook.
That we could do.
That would be so Gen Z.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could I'll plug it in Audible and I'll put it in my headphones while I
You
clean
guys
up or
are
something.
soft. What can I say? You guys are soft.
We're soft, but we've got a lot of love to give.
And the apple did
I
not
don't know
fall
what that
far from the
means.
tree. I think I got it from my mother.
That was said
Just-
with.
she-
I hope that's a clip you put on TikTok, and then people, my generation, comes at you for being a disrespect. You know what? You know who would have never treated her ma that way? That's
Ma.
right, Laura Ingals.
Was she the oldest?
No, she Mary, her sister who went blind was the oldest.
Oh, jeez.
She got scarlet fever.
I'm not laughing at that. I just.
And then she went blind. And then Pa said, Mary, you need to be, or Laura, you need to be Mary's eyes.
Oh.
So they were riding
Oh
on
my
a train
gosh.
trip to visit Pa, who they decided to move west to be a homesteader, which didn't sound fun.
No,
And
not
they're
good
talking
idea.
about bumping around, and then Laura and the little
Yeah.
sister Caroline, they had to sit in the uncomfortable part because blind Mary got to sit in the middle. You see,
Gosh.
because she was blind, and Laura had to be her eyes on the trip and describe the scenery. What was happening?
Oh my
sad.
gosh.
It was very sad. It's very hard life.
This was like the 70s Oregon Trail, wasn't it? It's just like reading this
I was
book.
trying to think.
And you're like,
I was trying to
uh-oh,
think if I was
dysentery
Laura
again.
and I had to be my sister's eyes, I would just be like, there's a hill,
You-
some farmland,
The sun's coming up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
yellow again, I guess.
and this royally sucks.
Okay, for
There's
background.
snow outside. I think it's cold.
You know what sucked about their life? Pa had to keep
Everything?
building everything. Pa had to keep building
Everything
houses.
sounds awful.
Every new place that they settled, Pa had to chop down trees and build a log cabin,
my
like a
gosh.
brand new one.
Why were
brand
they?
new one.
Why were they moving so much?
Pa had to sustain his family by shooting animals, and they felt like they ran out of animals, and so,
Oh, so they looked
he
for
was like
food.
an explorer. I kind of think he had some problems because Ma at the second one, after Mary takes scarlet fever, she's like, "Can we just stay where it's settled?" And town is 3 miles away, and
Yeah,
Pa's like,
right.
"Nope, pack it up.
We're on our way.
We're heading west."
Get that girl in the wagon.
To make, get this, $50 a month.
That's bullshark. I'm so mad about
Brutal.
that. All
That's
those people
brutal.
go through,
And
they're
you're complaining because you didn't get a chicken bonus.
My word. Let me just plug up my eyeballs and give it to the little girl. I feel terrible now. This is
Life was
insane.
hard.
Life was.
Do you
That's
feel
like.
you now need to give away your iPhone or your iPad or your AirPods or your headphones
How am I going to read Little House on the Prairie if I don't have my iPad?
I'm supposed to walk 3 miles to the library? I don't think so. Here's my favorite part of all of this, and I mean this in all love to my friend Ceci. We used to do the morning show together, the radio show, right? Back in the day. And whenever there was a sunrise, I'd be like, oh, isn't that beautiful? I'd be like, that's God's art room. And you'd be like, who cares?
Meh.
Oh.
It's like, it happens
Yeah.
every day.
Literally, that's her line. It happens every day, 365.
I am unimpressed by two things everyone else is impressed with: sunrises and hot air balloons.
Wait. Why hot air balloons on the list?
They're so dumb. They're so dumb. This is not a new technology. And you'll be driving around, people will go, oh, wow, did you see that hot air balloon? Who cares? Who cares?
You know why it's amazing, though? They're being held up alive by air. Who else and what else can do that in a wacky wicker basket?
You know what I think internally? La-di freaking da.
So if there's a hot air balloon going across the sunset, it'd be like a double, this is stupid.
I'm sure people are going to come at me.
Maybe.
Bring it.
I don't know. Hot air balloons could go either way. It's like,
Yeah, but your sunrises, man. It's God's art. Though. And then this was when hashtags were really big.
Oh, yeah.
And then he would post a picture.
You bet
with
I did. You bet I did. Hashy hash.
And then I would yell at him because I used to be such a jerk. I was such a jerk to
You weren't a jerk.
I was a little bit of a jerk.
You're just
and
honest.
I'd say, it's not God's art room. It's God's canvas.
That's right. You would correct that.
Hashtag Gen X
Hashtag who
jerk.
cares?
This is millennial core right here. I feel like every millennial will be able to relate to their sunrise and sunset pictures.
Because we saw the hardship that all these generations went
Right,
through,
I
like
don't think so.
white sugar and Tang. And we said, you know what? We want a minimalist life as millennials. And the sunrise is minimal. It's free.
Hashtag liar.
Unimpressed. Hashtaggies.
Okay, hashtag la-di freaking da.
If you want more of the Mom Millennial podcast, well, then subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes without having to do the work, and that's totally our jam.